Hi, everyone. I'm Marcy,
And I'm Madison.
and we are super excited to be here with you today
Yep.
and talking about Madison's journey all through her life of schooling. So, actually, before we begin, Madison wanted to talk a little bit about the title of the presentation today.
Well, the title is going to be the quote under my senior portrait. It says, "Why fit in when you are born to stand out?" And that is amazing because everyone is unique in their own way. I am one of them. I'm kind of a bit different. That makes me special.
That's right. And why fit in, right?
Yeah, why fit in when you're born to stand out?
That's right. So that's why we chose this. And as you heard, she chose it for her quote under her senior portrait. So she's super excited to be in the yearbook with that.
Yes.
All right. Without further ado, let's start with early intervention. Okay. Wow. So even before Chandler Trip, we had teachers, we had OT, speech therapists come to our house as early as, I believe, 6 months old. They were coming to our home and not only helping Madison, but helping me a ton. And as you see there in the bottom right picture, the lady standing behind me, as most of you know her name is Kathy Wall. She was incredible. She not only taught me how to help Madison and do things to better her life, she helped me. She helped me through some really tough days and some days that I had fear overcome me with, the diagnosis that we found out about this young lady here.
Mhm.
And she just gave me the confidence and the strength within to, move forward and say, we got this. Let's do everything we can to help Miss Maddie over here. And that's when we started our days over at Chandler Trip. So if you look at Madison in that red buggy, which is so cute, it took me so long to put Maddie in that buggy. I know it sounds crazy, but I was one of those moms. Maybe I'm called a helicopter mom or whatever, but I wanted to be that mom to walk her down the hall and see which class she's going to be in, make sure she was safe. And they kept telling me, Marcy, she's going to be okay. Everything's fine. But I was scared. I was nervous. I just want to make sure she was safe. And I couldn't have asked for a better place. After a few weeks, I'm realizing, my gosh, she could not be in a better place with Kathy Falk, Kathy Wall, and if you look in the background of that picture, you see Joyce Malia. These people were lifesavers. They gave Madison, they taught Madison, I mean, so many tools and myself on how to embrace Madison's, first of all, embrace her diagnosis and learn just ways of how to help Maddie, better help Maddie, and prepare us for preschool, which that brings us on to the next slide. But before I do, I have to tell you one more thing about Kathy Wall, the lady standing behind me. So, like I said, she helped Madison and I in the beginning of Madison's first years of life. But talk about coming to a full circle, because in 2018, I had my oldest move away to college and it was tough. I had a really hard time with the empty nest and saying bye. He moved a few states away. And so Kathy didn't even know I was going through this, but she called me up in the middle of me dealing with it and said, hey, are you looking for a job? Because I need someone right now in Inclusion Collaborative. And lo and behold, that's where I've been since 2018. I love it, love working for Kathy. She is the absolute best boss in the world and an incredible team there as well. And so that is full circle for me, working with Kathy and everything. So it's awesome. And so now this brings us into the preschool years. So, like I said, Chandler Trip got us ready for preschool. And I remember having our last IFSP with Chandler Trip, and they told us, all right, now Madison's going to be moving into special day preschool. And, I didn't tell you this part, but I had a son at that time who was, so he was 6, but he went through preschool at a co-op. And as most of you know, co-op is where parents come for a few hours a week. They either help in the Play-Doh, arts and crafts, wherever. And I was blessed enough to be able to put my son at that preschool. And I remember when Madison was born, I asked the director, could Maddie one day attend your preschool? And she said, absolutely. So I always had that in the back of my mind. One day when Madison's old enough to go to preschool, I want to put her in co-op. Well, at this meeting, they said, that's great. That's great. We want Madison to go to preschool with neurotypical kids. It'll be great for her to socialize. But we do believe that she does need those skills that special day preschool offer. And at first I was hesitant, but then I thought about everything they said. And they told me that the special day preschool would work with you on your scissor skills, coloring, writing, because that was hard. Dexterity, fine motor was hard for Maddie. And so I said, all right, let's do it. So I put Madison 3 days a week, special day preschool, and 2 days a week co-op. And it was the best thing I did. We loved it. Yes, this girl over here was extremely tired and you would take huge naps after, but I feel it was awesome because she got the best of both worlds. She was in the special day and she got that basically one-on-one with that sweet lady. If you look right there in the middle, never forget that lady, Kathy Hawley, incredible, incredible teacher. And she learned a lot of great skills to move on to kindergarten with Kathy Hawley. But at the same time, if you look at the other pictures there, the one with her and the blocks with that young lady, that little girl right there in the red, and also the little girl, where is she? Oh, she's dressed up as Mickey Mouse. She was in this neurotypical preschool and they became the best of friends. Am I right?
Yes.
Do you want to tell them a little bit about your relationship with Tori?
Well, we did have some in common, and we grew together. Yeah. She was pregnant. Her mom was pregnant with my mom.
Well, she was pregnant with Tori while I was pregnant with
me, and we became best friends.
Yeah, like from birth.
Yes, from birth.
You had no choice, right? Just kidding. Just kidding.
Actually, I like having a friend, and I like connecting with people. We grew together up, and we grew apart, and I miss her.
They did. So do you want to talk a little bit about that, or would you like me to talk about it?
I really want to talk about that.
You do? Okay. So they were best of friends from birth. Well, let me tell them a little bit of back history. So Tori's older sister, Sophia, and my son Dylan, I was going to say our son, but he's not your son. My son Dylan were in this co-op preschool I was telling you about. And so her mom and I got pregnant at the same time. And so the girls, when we had play dates with the older kids, the girls were basically babies and grew up together. And they were really connected. But then it reached a time in their lives, middle school. Do you want to go on and tell them?
Not just middle school. Yes, in middle school, but sometimes in high school, we grew apart. And I promised myself after all this, COVID will be gone. I don't know when, but I want to see her again.
Yes. And I told you the best way you could do that is to reach out to her. And you did. You reached out to her. And so she reached back to you. It's a very touchy subject. I'm sorry we're having a little bit of emotional. It's been a little bit touchy because it's been hard for Madison to lose touch with her friends that she's made in the past. So let's hold on to that. Are you okay if we move on?
Yeah, I'm trying to cry here. So
okay.
I'm coming back to you.
No, and it's understandable that you're sad about it. So when we get to those slides, maybe we can get back to that if that's okay.
Bye.
All right. So Madison's preschool experience was incredible. Like I said, she had the best of both worlds. And that brings us to her kindergarten years, the beginning of her journey at the best school. Madison started kindergarten at Lynn Haven. And let me tell you a funny story about that. So I remember going to 2 or 3 other schools in our district and doing the parent, not orientation, but when they have open house where you can go and check out the school. So I went to a few schools and I remember going there and, being by myself without kids, parents don't know if you have a typical child or a child with special needs. So I remember going to one particular school and I was sitting there during open house and the principal was talking about all the school has to offer, how incredible our test scores are and everything. And I remember that Madison was there at that school for preschool and how there were many classrooms that had autism program, special day programs, but not once did the principal talk about that. So I left there feeling a little bit sad that she wouldn't talk about how awesome it is to have kids with special needs there. So believe it or not, I saved Lynn Haven, the school that is literally around the corner from my house. I did not want to put her there, and I don't know why, it's odd, but I said, I'm not going to go do an open house. But then after seeing all these other schools and how I just didn't feel comfortable putting her there, I went and did an open house at Lynn Haven. And within the first few minutes, I'm emotional, Madison can tell you, I cry a lot. And within the first 5 minutes, the principal said, she welcomed all the parents and she immediately went into saying how We have a great special ed program here, and how the kids in the special ed classes are immersed in the school during lunch, during reading classes, during everything. And it makes our neurotypical kids better people, and it makes our kids with special needs better people. Of course, I had to leave the cafeteria because I was brought to tears. And I immediately called my husband and said, I found the school that our daughter's going to. And that is where she began her journey at Lynn Haven. And kindergarten was incredible. We went to her, what was it called? I can't, forgive me, I don't remember, where they go and they do a testing. I forget what it's called. Well, I remember the general ed kindergarten teacher, Miss Addison, still remember her dearly. She says, I would like to test that young lady. And she called Maddie out from the line and she tested her. And she says, she came up to us afterwards and said, I want this young lady in my classroom. And being in a Down syndrome support group, and we'd always go once a month to dinners, meeting with other parents. I was not expecting a teacher to be so welcoming and warm. I had a lot of parents tell me about their experiences and how they had to, unfortunately, fight the system and have a lot of IEPs and just go through a lot. I immediately was thrown off guard with this teacher, and I said, all right, let's do it. And so Madison started her day of kindergarten, and it was great. And they said, let's get together after 30 days and see where Madison is. Well, school was great for you, but Madison loved being outside in the playground. And after lunch, Madison did not want to go back into the classroom. So I would get some phone calls and they would say, Madison's having a hard time coming in. So I said, hey, can Madison, let's get an aide. Of course, I said differently. It was an IEP. It was all professional, but let's get an aide. So they said, all right. So they brought in an aide. So Madison started off with an aide, half day. But then I realized my time, so I have to go through this faster. So, anyways, long story short, they realized that Madison needed a one-on-one, so she started having an aide, and it was good until we started realizing in first grade, Madison was going through many aides. Aides would not stick around; they would stick for a little bit and they would leave. And as most of you know, anyone thrives off structure and routine. Well, especially kids with Down syndrome, it's hard when they're getting used to someone, all of a sudden that person leaves. So it was rough. It was rough in first grade for Madison to get used to the routine, because as soon as she would get a different aide. So we went through, I would say, 4 or 5 aides until Madison started second grade. So here's some pictures of her in first grade. Excellent. She had a great time. Did you want to say something? I'm sorry.
No.
Oh,
I
you're
just
saying
do
you loved it.
justice.
So Madison loved first grade. There was 2 teachers. They job shared. It was great. And then we finally, in second grade, there was one aide that started, and she was incredible. Do you remember her name?
Yes, her name is Miss Diana.
Miss Diana. She was a godsend. And they clicked. They immediately clicked. And once someone clicks with your kids, you're like, oh, you'll do anything for them. So I started asking for the aide to be in Madison's IEPs. And I know that's frowned upon. And I told them nicely that if you think about it, the aide, the one-on-one aide, is with my daughter and knows her more than any other teacher there. So it made a difference, because having the aide there, she knew where we stood with some goals, the teacher, everything was great. So we had a really great connection with the aide and our team. It was just incredible. We had a great team.
Yeah.
All right, so now we bring us to 5th grade. And as you see in the bottom there, that picture of Madison with that lady, that is Miss Johnson. And Miss Johnson was the teacher of the Purple Palace.
Yes.
Yes, and the Purple Palace was the resource room. I started noticing that end of 4th grade, 5th grade, Madison was in resource quite a bit. And Madison started realizing that her work was very different from her peers in 5th grade. So I started realizing, oh, and I forgot to tell you guys something. I worked at Lynn Haven the entire time. I was started off as a yard duty, but then I started, do you want to tell them?
She started DJing at Lynn Haven.
I did.
I'll tell you
So-
the rules.
Yeah, so tell them when I start DJing.
Okay, first, the rules of Lynn Haven is ABC: act responsibly, behave responsibly, and care for all.
Mhm.
If we do all the ABCs and clean the bathroom, the principal will call. There will be a DJ party there, and
A dance party.
a DJ dance party there. And my mom started doing dance parties, and
And
you know her. She is lovable.
well, they don't know me, but
but,
but she thinks I'm lovable, which
and
that's
hyper, and
I-
hyper.
especially with kids. Kids are my happy place. So
Yeah.
the principal, we were brainstorming, how can we get these kiddos to keep the bathrooms clean because they were in bad shape. And I said, how about a dance party? Let's use that as an incentive. So, oh my goodness, the school was immaculate. It was incredible. And pretty soon the kids started calling me DJ Marcy. And lo and behold, I actually started my own DJ business because of this experience. I would do fun dance parties on Fridays at lunchtime, and all the kids, even teachers, would leave their faculty room and come and enjoy our dance parties. And it was a lot of fun. So yeah, and so now that's how I got my title as DJ Marcy, and we did that on Fridays. But yes,
You've got one thing.
yes,
Not just my school. I have Girl Scouts this year. My friend Mona used to be Katie, but it's Mona. Her mom, Janet, runs the Girl Scouts. My mom does DJ there, and my favorite thing about DJing is the themes. We do different themes.
yes.
Like what, Mom?
So did you tell them when I started doing these dance parties? We started doing them on Zoom when? When did we start?
We start Zoom
Dance parties?
dance parties on COVID time.
The beginning of
The
COVID,
beginning of
March
COVID.
2020, we wanted to find a way to keep these young adults, and teenagers connected. You know, some of them are in group homes, some of them were very isolated, feeling very lonely. And so my friend and I, we decided to create this dance party every Friday, and we have so many participants. And I create my own little disco lights in my room, and I just play music, and we just have a great time. And we have themes, like Maddie said. This one coming up, of course, is going to be Halloween,
Yes.
and that's what we do. But we're getting off topic, and that's where we're good at. So let me get
Yes,
back on
sorry,
topic.
My bad.
So sorry. So that actually Madison brought up Girl Scouts.
Yes.
So, oh, you know what, guys? Nope. Let's go back. So I forgot to tell you. So the gap started widening, and I realized working there at school, I started seeing that why am I having Madison completely fully included? I need to start looking into special day classes where it will meet Madison where she's at, so she can be doing her work like her other classmates. So that's when we made the big decision to put Madison in special day classes starting in middle school. And it was pretty incredible. And I made a boo-boo. I spoke on that early. So hold there. Before we go and talk about her experience in middle school, let me talk to you about some extracurricular activities that she did when she was in Lynn Haven. So here's when she started Daisy. Look how tiny you were. And this is when she started Daisies, and it was so fun. She started doing Girl Scouts, and she did that. That was actually a pretty cool troop because it was girls that were typical girls and also girls with different abilities. So it was really fun. She did that. And then if you look right after Girl Scouts, this right here is one of her favorites. What did you start when you were little?
I started on stage. As you can see, I was the boo for Aladdin, which is amazing. I like to sing and dance
Yes.
and improv, which is amazing, which I do. Starting this.
Yeah, she's starting this Saturday. She's going on year 13 with Angels on Stage. Incredible. I can't go too far into it because I can go talk about Angels on Stage for an hour because I also am part of Angels now. I'm their choreographer for every show. Incredible program. If you don't know about it, please look into it. And we would love for you to come and watch our shows. It's an amazing program. We serve about 100 angels, all different abilities, and it's pretty incredible. So let's now talk about middle school. So middle school was when we, like I said, decided to put Madison in special day. And it was honestly one of the best things we did as parents. And did you like middle school?
I did, yes. I did make some good friends. I know Janet. I make friends with Ace, like Ruby, and of course my teacher, Miss G.
She did. So Madison in middle school connected more with her teachers and aides rather than her peers, which is fine. It was hard for me as a mom to get over that, but Madison, she loved it. She loved it. Her and her teacher, as you see in the picture there, that is her teacher, Miss G, incredible lady. And they connected and did well. Madison was on the honor roll. She did outstanding in middle school. So we're going to move. I have to go quickly because I just realized now we're going to move
Yeah,
into high school.
I'm happy.
Let's go to the high school years where she's
Yeah.
currently experiencing now. Do you want to tell them what grade you're in?
I'm in 12th grade. I'm a senior. This is a little bit a backstory of it. I think I'm a freshman at that time.
Oh, in this picture here?
Yes, because I could tell. Because the next slide, I'll tell you more about that.
Okay.
But yes, I did go to high school. I'm a senior.
Mhm.
That means it's more responsibility for me. That means after that, I don't know when I'm gonna start. So that's why high school is very important. It's teaching me making new friends, teaching me to be smarter, and working as a team and doing amazing stuff I never known about.
That's right. High school has been incredible. We love Madison attends Branham High School, and she's in their special ed program there, and it's incredible. Like Madison said, she's learned how to make friendships, connect with others, and there's also a program that Branham offers. If you want to go ahead and click
I'm gonna
on.
tell you more about this. This is a little bit back then, because you can see by the shirts. This year we get new shirts. I'll tell you more about that.
But what is this program? Do you
This
wanna
is
tell
Best Buddies.
Mhm.
It is a program for making great new friends. My buddy over there is Danica.
Mhm.
She's in college right now. She gave me a new fanny pack as a gift.
Okay, but tell us more about Best
But,
Buddies. What is Best Buddies? Yeah.
is like working together,
Mhm.
making new friends.
How often do you meet? Do you guys see each other?
We only see each other on Wednesdays at lunch with
Mhm.
my case manager, Miss Wilson.
Mhm.
She kind of runs Best Buddies, but yeah, we do it outside
Of
Best
course,
Buddies.
because of COVID now.
Yeah, that, and we do great activities. Like we do 2 truths in 1 lie.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, 2 truths and 1 lie. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. Sweet.
So they do a lot of fun games, as you can see.
Yes.
And Madison's current best buddy is Haley, and she actually takes Maddie on weekend fun adventures. They go to ice cream, and
Mhm.
what else have you guys done together?
I-
Christmas in the park.
Christmas in the park,
Mhm.
and actually about that time the shirts were a little bit old. My buddy Haley designed the new shirt. She designed the new shirt this year.
She did. So they have new shirts. Oh, we should have worn them. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
And so, for example, tomorrow they're actually doing banana split day. So everyone brings a banana to school, and they're going to make banana splits at school together. So Madison's really excited for that. So I'll be honest with you guys. I could have really spoken a lot longer about Madison's journey through school, and I'm sorry I didn't dip too deep into everything. But we do have to finish. But I want to
Okay.
finish off strong. Did you want to say
But
one more
first,
thing
one more
about Best
thing.
Buddies?
Best Buddies is amazing. And like Mom said, banana splits. That's why I'm excited. I don't need to eat lunch because at lunch is Best Buddies, and why not have banana split for lunch? That is amazing.
That's a nutritious meal, isn't it, Maddie?
Delicious.
Anyways,
Anyway,
so we're gonna. She's telling me, hold on, don't flip it just yet. Give 1 second. So Best Buddies also does something really cool. I want to tell you guys. It's called Best Buddies Prom, and it's just absolutely amazing. And they're gearing up for that soon, and it's just awesome. So I think having Best Buddies is an incredible program for just those students that have a harder time making connections and finding friends. This is amazing. This is helping them build those friendships. So we want to finish strong, and this slide we're about to go on, I want to let you guys know ahead of time, this poem that Madison's about to read was written by her when she was in 5th grade. And I was blown away, and her teachers are blown away. She read this poem in front of the entire school during assembly. And I just want to let you guys know that most of the teachers were emotional, not a dry eye in the room when she did this. So would you like to present this poem
yes,
to
I have a
everyone?
question. I did wrote this, and I don't remember what I said, but this is my version of this.
Okay,
As
ready?
teenager. Yeah.
Go for it.
I am Madison. Before the decision, I am me. I am caring and loving and fun, and that is key. Life is really great for me. I just have to try really hard, really hard. And all that you may think that is easy for you guys. I love
Let me
everyone.
move this a little closer to her. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, guys. It's
I
hard
can't
for her to see. Okay, how's that, kiddo?
Thank you. Where was that?
You can start right here.
Oh yeah, I love everyone, no matter what they look like or who they are. So please accept me. Treat me the same. Yes, I will go far. Yes, I have Down syndrome, and I am different. I am more like you than different. I am me.
That's awesome, Maddie. That was awesome. Good job,
Thank
kiddo.
you.
And so that is our short story of 14 years bundled up in 20 minutes. Thank you
Yeah.
for all your time, guys.
Thank
We
you.
loved speaking for you today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Lisa Lopez, and this is my daughter Veronica. Hello. We're going to tell you all about her school and being in inclusion.
Yeah.
So we started preschool and inclusion in Chandler Tripp Parkway. First, we started at Chandler Tripp because her school had a preschool, but it was mostly kids with autism that were running around, and she did not walk at all. So they were afraid that they would push her over, fall on her, kick her, whatever. So we started out in county program at Chandler Tripp with Miss Kathy Bays right there. And then we did go into Head Start about 2 days a week, first with Kathy, then with Mr. Paul. And then eventually on her third year preschool, we went to Parkway with Miss Lisa's class down here, where she did meet her friend, her BFF friend Robin, right here in the pink helmet at the bottom. The neat thing about inclusion is that some of her kids in Miss Kathy's class did not move also. So she felt she didn't need to move. Well, when they went to Head Start, she saw all the kids running around, walking around, and she's like, hey, I can do this. And she started pulling herself up from the table and she started trying to walk around. And so we actually got some movement out of her. So I thought that was the best thing. She actually became the world's fastest scooter and move her legs. So she had her feet in front of her and she would just scoot along the floor. And I actually had to tell people not to pick her up off the floor, even though she was getting dirty, because that was her only way she moved. So I thought it was the best thing. Eventually, she had to go to her home school, which was awesome because we found out that Robin lived near us. So she went to her elementary school eats. This is her on her first day of kindergarten. And she shared an aide with Robin. So Robin just needed help getting stuff. And Veronica needed help with academics. So that's why it worked out really well. Right?
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. So elementary school was a huge learning phase for both me and her. As you can see, she was walking. She got up and got AFOs on her legs and was walking. You can see the thumbs up after school. She had a great time on her first day. Some things we learned was that having an aide in class was great, but having the same aide at recess wasn't, because they couldn't do the same things. Veronica liked to stay in the sandbox the whole time. That was her thing, playing in the sand. Well, Robin couldn't play in the sand, so we had to get a different aide for recess. So we kind of fought for that. We didn't have to fight too hard, which was nice. Other things I learned was to keep very good notes and don't be afraid to ask questions. She did really well with inclusion. She spent a lot of time in her class. She also spent time getting extra help with math and English. The reason you don't want to be afraid to ask questions, I felt like something wasn't going on, something wasn't right. Her math didn't seem to be improving, and there was nothing, she didn't really have a diagnosis. So I felt like it was kind of stalled. So I kept researching, I kept finding things. And I found a place that would do some more research for me, more tests. And I brought them in to do tests, and they found out more information for me. We got a diagnosis of cognitive disorder, NOS. And I know that's kind of a generic diagnosis, but it was something. It was something to explain what was going on. Well, then they wanted to put her in strictly special ed. I said, but she's fine where she is. I just needed an answer so we could, figure things out. And they said, well, actually, she's more special ed than she is mainstream. And I was like, well, how do you figure that? And they said, well, if you look at all the stuff she does, like all the time she's in mainstream and all the time she has, help, like as far as an aide and stuff. And they considered when her aide went on lunch and someone from special ed came over to give her aide a break, they considered that her special ed time. And I was like, oh no, then get someone else to give her lunch. That's not Veronica's fault that her aide has to go to lunch and you're picking somebody special to give her aide lunch. So if that's what, tips the scale, then find somebody else, have someone else give her lunch, just a regular aide or a regular person, whatever. That's not our fault. And they're like, oh yeah, that's true. And I'm like, okay, because, so then that put her back in the mainstream. I mean, you really have to ask those questions and really get kind of not mean about it. You just have to just really point it out and really, get specific, because, if you don't do it, nobody's going to do it. No one's going to ask those questions or keep them on track, I guess you'd say. So anyway, we stayed in mainstream because Veronica told me if I don't line up with my friends, then I'm not going to school. So we kept her there. So, and also each year they said third grade would be at this school, fourth grade would be that school, and fifth grade would be at this school, and that's not very comfortable for somebody who's, it takes them a while to get comfortable with a teacher in a school, and then you're going to switch them each year. That's not good. So anyway, so another thing she started during elementary school, and actually I think it was in first grade, was Angels on Stage. And she loves doing it's performing arts for kids 5 to 22 with differing abilities. Show you some pictures here. This is her doing her first play as who are you? Mowgli in the Jungle Book. This is her and Robin throughout school. They did the school talent show. They did the 5th grade science camp. Me and her mom had to go the whole week and help them out, but it turned out to be the coldest week ever in science camp, but we did it.
Cold weather.
Yeah.
We didn't stay there. We actually went home.
Yeah, they went home. You stayed a couple nights. We got them to get an aide to stay with her a couple nights. So it was fun. And then that top picture actually is all her aides she had through elementary school and the RSP teachers that helped her. So that was, they still ask about her. And then in the middle is their great kindergarten teacher that they had. And we still talk to her. So middle school, we did decide if they kept her in mainstream for the rest of elementary school, we would switch her to special day class. And we did. So she had a great time. She was definitely happy because she can do her own work. We got to 4th and 5th grade and the work just got really hard. And I kind of felt like I was pointing out a lot of things in the books. And
Yeah.
and just telling her, yeah, this looks good right here. Maybe write that down. So that was hard, huh? So now she felt she could do her own work. They volunteered at the library. And the good thing is the teacher was, knew there was a special bond between Robin and Veronica. So if they did stuff with the class, like a science project, or here they're cooking pizzas. So they made sure that they went into Robin's class so they can be together and do stuff together. And then that's their awesome principal down there. And also in 8th grade, Veronica had foot surgery. So you can see she has 2 of her feet in cast. That was not fun. And she also did more Angels on Stage. And there's their principal again, is Mr. Santa. And she did hairspray also in middle school. So they had a great time. They took her to Chuck E. Cheese. Remember that? Chuck E. Cheese for your birthday. Yeah, you remember being Chip and Tweedledee?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is also brings up, next is high school. This is also a little problem we had, unfortunately, with Branham. We almost didn't go to Branham because they went to her school in middle school and you saw that she had 2 casts on her legs. This is where your little tenacity, I guess, and asking questions comes in. With 2 casts on her legs, she couldn't use the restroom. And unfortunately, that was 3 months out of 3 years that she couldn't use the restroom very well. So you can't go to Branham unless you can use a restroom. So they said that she can't go to Branham, she can't use the restroom. Well, you know, you have to be kind of like, okay, well, you can't count 3 months or even the 15 minutes you were there looking at her, right? Out of 3 years. She just has cats for a little bit. It's not a permanent thing. So do you remember what I told you when we went into the meeting for Branham?
I act like we can do everything.
I said, you better walk in there. I said, get out of that chair. Yeah, she had no casts on her legs, and we pushed her around still a little bit because her feet were still a little new at walking a little bit.
And I still had to fuse it.
Yeah, so I told you, I said, get out of that chair. You walk into that room. You show that lady, you got this. And that's what she did. And the other person from the other high school looked at her and goes, I'm not needed here. And she just said hi, and then she got up and left, huh?
Yeah.
And they said they wanted to offer you Branham. So that's where we went. And then we did notice we had fun. They had 3 teachers, and I don't think they were quite ready for her enthusiasm. She was born to stand out. She's like, okay, well, you know, her and Robin were ready to do a theater group, you know, at lunchtime, and they're like, oh, most kids stay around here. And I'm like, well, you need an aid to like get her to theater group. She needs to go to her, you know, extracurricular stuff. And they're like, okay, we'll have to figure that out. It's like, so it was, you know, kind of funny, but she had fun. She went to the grocery store. The only thing that did happen was Robin passed away in freshman year. So that was really rough. We had a rough time freshman year and sophomore year. We didn't want to go to school, did we? We had a hard time, and I think they need more, a little more counseling for that, because it was more about getting her there, not so much. I don't think they really talked to you about that. No counselors came to her and asked her about that. So, but then we realized, you know, sophomore year, that who was coming? Madison was coming. So I said, if you can get through sophomore year, then Madison's coming. So, so Madison arrived, and that made everything better, because now she had a new friend that she knew from Angels on Stage, and she was whole again, almost most of the way. And they had a great time for the last couple years. And unfortunately, then though, COVID hit.
Yeah, and then I didn't get to finish my senior year. at
Yeah.
Brigham.
But we still would talk to Madison on Zoom. So
FaceTime.
FaceTime, yeah, sorry. But so it all worked out. We're still doing Angels, of course. We're still seeing Madison, right? Yeah. So, but thanks for listening.
Thank
And
you all for being-
we hope we didn't bore you and you had a good time. And have a great day. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Madison.
And hi, I'm Veronica.
And I'm Marcy. I'm off screen and I'm going to be working with the girls on their slides. All right, you guys want to begin with slide 1?
Yes.
Yeah. This is English on Stage. It's a theater troupe for people, for disabilities and non-disabilities to work together.
We came together in season 2, and the play was Jungle Book, and I was Mowgli.
And I was the bumblebee.
That's awesome. And so you guys have been doing this in season 2. And what season are we in right now at
Four-
Angels?
14.
Season 14, which
14.
means you ladies have been doing it for 13 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what play are you guys doing this year?
Mm.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. And what part do you have, Veronica?
The caterpillar.
Nice. And how about you, Madison?
I was Alice.
Alice, that's great. And these pictures I'm looking at, are these pictures of you guys at Angels on Stage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. And I like the one that you guys are back to back.
Yeah.
What characters are you guys playing in that picture?
I was the fox.
The fox. And how about you, Veronica?
I was Pockets.
Pockets. And what play was this for?
Peter Pan.
And I'm assuming you girls were the Lost Boys?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice. I love it.
Mhm.
All right, let's go to the next slide here. Can you tell us a little bit about this slide?
Yes.
Okay.
It is cheerleading.
Cheerleading. And do you guys do this together?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And when do you guys do cheerleading? Like, do you guys do it local or do you guys go places?
Local.
Local?
Wait, no, places.
You guys go places too? Can you tell us a place you guys went to, Maddie?
Disneyland.
You guys went to Disneyland for cheer?
And
Yeah.
Cow Palace.
Oh, yeah, in the Cow
Yeah.
Palace. Nice. Do you guys have fun cheering?
Yes.
Yes.
I can tell, especially in the picture where you guys are just gleaming with pride in that one that you guys won in the medal. I love it.
Mhm.
Okay. And how about this one here?
Oh. This is what we're doing today after this. It is Special Olympics.
Northern California.
Northern California.
Yeah.
I love it. Veronica, what do you do for Special Olympics?
I sometimes coach and I do registration.
You sometimes coach and do registration?
Yeah.
I love it. And how about you, Madison?
I am the Special Olympics swimmer, and I also work at Santa Clara.
Oh, you work at Santa Clara Swim Club?
Yeah.
And what do you do there?
Like inventory, copying, things they want me to do.
That sounds awesome. I love that. And I love that you guys are doing it together. My favorite is that picture of you two laughing with all the funny faces.
Yeah, we always laugh.
Oh, I love
I like
that.
it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Now look at, I love these pictures. Tell me what you guys were doing in the upper left corner with the beautiful dresses and makeup on.
We did Night to Shine prom. It's a
Wow.
prom.
I love that.
Yes.
Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
And you guys went together?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then tell me a little bit about this picture with the matching cat headphones.
That is at Brenham High School.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we match headphones.
It just headphones, or do you guys match other?
We just not just match headphones, clothes, and accessories.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. What's going on in that middle picture? What are you doing to Veronica?
As you can see, it's a fashion runway for our Girl Scouts, and
Oh,
it is I am helping her find blush, and she's modern Tiana, and I was modern Cinderella.
oh, I love it. And that's the picture on the upper right-hand corner
Yeah.
that you guys are making a heart with your hands.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. So you guys did a fashion show for Girl Scouts?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's beautiful. I love it. All right. And so you guys do a lot of things with your friendship, huh?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I think that one right there was that movie night, or what was going on in this picture in the middle?
It is a graduation ceremony.
Oh, that's right. Veronica, was that your graduation?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them a little bit about it?
Mm,
You don't.
mhm.
All right.
Uh,
It was, may I tell a little bit?
yeah.
Yeah, go
So Veronica graduated right during the heart of COVID 2020. So she did not get a graduation, but you did get a drive-by with all your friends. Am I right?
Mhm.
And then we also got to witness her graduation in her backyard. It was really fun, as you can see there.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the next slide. How about this one?
Oh, this one, I was talking about matching.
Oh, that's
Not just headphones, clothes,
Yeah.
like jackets, sweaters, and plaid, and
Yeah.
necklaces.
Oh, I love it. And then Veronica, tell me a little bit about the beach picture. What does that symbolize that you did?
Maybe sassy.
No, remember during COVID, what did you and Madison do?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
Well, every Wednesday,
Oh, we went to the beach.
you guys went to the beach. Why did you guys go to the beach every Wednesday, Maddie?
It is very peaceful and helps us to get peace for our bodies. It's good for exercising. You can walk on the beach.
Hmm. And it was also a little break in being at home every day during COVID,
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, that was fun. Do you guys want to tell, oops, sorry about that, everyone a little bit about your friendship and this picture and everything?
Yeah, that is a sleepover what friends do exactly. They pack up their or pack up everything they do and put it in their friend's house and spend time with them. It's called sleepover. That's what friends do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And do you want to tell everybody about your friendship and how it came at a really important time in your lives?
Yes. I I was we were starting becoming closer friends after I lost contact with my childhood friend.
Mhm.
And I lost contact and lost my friend when in high school.
Yeah. So both Maddie and Veronica they've known each other for many years since they were little girls. They were at Angels. But it's funny, they didn't become best friends until Madison's freshman year in high school. And what year were you when Maddie was a freshman, V?
Mm.
You don't remember? Okay, so I believe she was a junior. And so Veronica unfortunately lost her dear friend, Robin, who passed away in high school.
Sophomore year.
Sophomore year, she passed away. And then Madison also lost contact with a very dear friend of hers. So their friendship developed at such a perfect time. And I think they are a blessing to each other. Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's how your friendship, is there anything else you guys want to talk about your friendship?
Yeah, a tiny bit. The more we get closer, the more I can feel the happiness and hope and love and the warmth of
Yeah.
our friendship get closer.
It's beautiful. How about you, V?
I agree.
Love it. And that is Madison and Veronica's friendship together.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a complete story.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for watching
watching us.
our presentation.
Thank you for watching us.